What's going on, everyone? It's December 13th, and it's yet again another great day for real estate. The inflation report, the CPI report came out today, and just like November 10th, it's looking like inflation has mellowed out and may actually start to go down, which is what they call deflation. So we're on the verge of seeing the inflation, which has driven all of the concerns everyone's had, start to flatten out and actually start to go down. Now, as a result of that, interest rates had a good day today. The mortgage bonds did really well. Mortgage bonds are what mortgage-backed securities are basically mortgages trading, right? So it's something people can invest in. And if you look at the 10-year Treasury, which is readily available on your stock app, you will see that the 10-year Treasury went down today, which means interest rates went down. Now, it doesn't mean there's this massive, massive shift in interest rates, but mortgage interest rates are trending for the better. And they've been trending for the better for the last month at this point, because November 10th was the last CPI report. Think of CPI as inflation. And that one was awesome because October of 2021, we had really, really low inflation. And then it spiked with everything that's happened this year. Well, when October of 2021 was replaced by October of 22 on November 10th of this year, that is when we saw it look like inflation flattened out, because October, really low inflation October, was replaced by same levels as everything else October. That was great. Well, that trend continued into November, which is the report we received today. So what does this mean for housing? You're going to see prices start to go back up. And here's why. There is no inventory. You thought inventory was bad the last 2 years. It's only gotten worse. And it's gotten worse because you have so many people sitting at interest rates in the twos on a 30-year fixed. If you have a house that's at 2.5% on a 30-year fixed, would you go buy a new house at 5%? The affordability it's difficult. You wouldn't be able to afford that nicer home, say a move-up home, because the payment would be dramatically higher because the interest rate is double what it used to be at 5%, which we're not there yet. We will be there next year. My interest rate is at 2.625%. The value of my home has not shifted whatsoever, but I'm not selling. I really don't care what the value of my home is right now because I have no intentions of selling, if ever. We're going to have this house 10 to 15 years. In 10 to 15 years, we will have paid down our mortgage so dramatically, and inflation over time, long-term inflation, will have driven our value up dramatically. Why would I sell? I could just keep it as a rental and keep building my real estate portfolio. So that's kind of the mindset that you're seeing is, I don't want to sell. I have this super low cost of money. I'm not going to sell. That leads to an inventory problem. At the same time, builders slowed down on building. Really, supply chain is still an issue, but more so it's like, hey, if prices have come down, let's just let the supply chain catch up and we'll start building when the materials become available. We're seeing a lot of that as well. On top of that, JP Morgan and other financial institutions are buying up real estate like crazy. JP Morgan is spending $1 billion to become a mega landlord. So think about that. Why would a big giant company like JP Morgan be buying up real estate if it was such a terrible time to buy real estate? They're doing it because they know they can control us by controlling where we live. So as you see interest rates start to come down, which is already happening, and it's a long road. It's not going to happen overnight like it did in 2020, but interest rates are starting to come down. You're going to see more people jump back into housing, and you're going to see prices start to go back up. So it's good news for housing. I know it's not what people want to hear. I know people want to hear that the market's going to crash and we have another 2008 and you can buy homes penny on the dollar. It's not going to happen. I've been saying that this entire time. It's not going to happen. In 2020, when everyone said, oh my gosh, this pandemic is going to cause an '08, I said it's not going to happen. The types of loans that are available now are entirely different than what it was in '08. That was the mortgage industry, the financial industry, causing that by making terrible loans that made no sense. It's gone the opposite direction. I think the average home in America has 42% equity now. So you're not going to see foreclosures. You have limited inventory, more so now than ever, because people aren't going to sell their homes when they're sitting on such low interest rates. The builders still have to play catch up. And you have these giant companies like JP Morgan buying up real estate like mad. So it's a great time to buy real estate. That's all I'll say is let me put it this way. In my opinion, depending on your personal situation, I don't know if there's a bad time to buy real estate. If you're trying to buy a rental property, sure, that's a different analysis. That's kind of a profit and loss. You're buying a business. What market do you want to buy in? What are the rent projections there? What are the appreciation projections there? Those are all the things you have to think about. When you're living in the house, it's a different outlook. The outlook when you're living in the house is just like I mentioned about myself. How long are we going to be here? Is it convenient for our lifestyle? What's our cost of money? Can we afford the monthly payment? Those are the things I'm thinking about. See, in a way, real estate protects you from yourself. I think the reason people love the idea of investing in stocks versus real estate is because if a stock goes down, I can panic sell right now, right? So I can jump on that emotion, that fear I have of losing money. Well, real estate, you can't panic sell. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's allowing ourselves to protect ourselves from ourselves. So I hope this is helpful. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. Comment below. I love chatting about this stuff. I love hearing other opinions. Thank you so much. Let me know how I can help. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.